So let's talk basic news. Nice, yes. With Pixniana to make it private school, yes, that's nice. Hope you have a time of a point. Now I like my point X hard. Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk. No distractions. So I wanted us to talk about, lately I've realized a lot of people go through anxiety and depression and blah blah. But I don't want us to talk about depression. I want us to talk about worrying and overthinking. Which is caused by anxiety. But lately, I'm gonna speak for myself and the people that are around me. Everything is just about being worried about things, thinking every time. Have you noticed how much time you spend thinking, just thinking, but you don't realize that you are overthinking, and your day is consumed that by thinking, overthinking, worrying about where your next paycheck is going to come from, worrying about your ideas, when are they going to come true, your dreams, when are they going to come true, your next meal, where is it going to come from, your salary, if you're working, it's not enough, are you enough, am I where I wanted to be, am I successful, am I going to be successful? You overthink, you think. And we don't realize that we are consuming, or we are being consumed by just our thoughts before we even do anything physical. And I want us to talk about that. I go through that. But I realized, I promised myself that I'm not going to worry about things that are beyond my control, but still I worry about them. I don't have control over my tomorrow, but still I worry about my tomorrow. There was a time when I prayed for what I have today, and I said to myself, when I have what I have today, I'm going to be content and I'm going to be happy. I have everything and more that I've prayed for, but I am not content. I have everything that I've dreamed about and of, but I am not feeling what I thought I would feel when I have it. So, do we ever get to that point of contentment, fully contentment? Do we ever get there? Is contentment like a tomorrow? Because we never get to tomorrow, but we speak about tomorrow. Do you understand what I'm saying? We never get to tomorrow. I'll say to you, I will see you tomorrow. But when I get tomorrow is Monday, and it's not a tomorrow. And the next tomorrow is a Tuesday. And when I get to Tuesday, the next tomorrow is a Wednesday. We never ever get to tomorrow. If you know what I'm saying. Is contentment like that? Because I have prayed and wished to. There was a time when I had nothing. When I had nothing, and I prayed, I said, God, if I can have a house, I have more than one house. If I can have a car, I have more than one car. If I can have money, I have more than money that I prayed for. If I have this, and I have it, and I said, I will be no relaxed and relaxing. The overthinking gets worse. So then, I look at older people that are in their 90s or near death, and they speak. I see them on TikTok and they go, what would I tell my 20-year-old self? What would I tell my 30-year-old self? I wish I didn't have to worry about A, B, C, and D. I wish I didn't have to work so hard. I wish I didn't have to be so guarded. I wish I didn't have to worry that much. I wish I didn't have to. They have wishes that they wish they did. And I look at them, I said, I don't want to be that person. But now I'm 50. I can stop now to torture myself, because I'm like, what if I live until my mother's age? What if I live until I'm 90? And I would have wasted an opportunity of another 40 years of just living a beautiful, relaxed life. Because I wish I didn't have to worry. When I was 30, I wish I didn't have to worry that much about what's going to happen to me when I was 50. Do you understand what I'm saying? I wish I didn't have to worry that much. When I was 20, there was a time when I never thought I would reach 30. And I wasted the 10 years with the anxiety of being worried about me not getting to 30 and wanting to live and grab everything as fast as I can. And I could have just relaxed and enjoyed the moment and enjoyed my 20s. I worked so hard in my 20s because I had this mindset which I'm not going to reach my 30s. And I reached my 30s and I even forgot that I was worried about me not reaching my 30s. And I was like, why did I waste the 10 years? But now I'm in my 50s. I'm 50 now, and why can't I learn lessons from what I did in my 20s and apply them now? I know what you're saying. Those worries made me who I am today, but also those worries stole moments. Those worries stole moments. And this is where we need to tap in to, we speak about trusting God and believing in God, but I think we speak about it more than we apply it. Because if we apply it, we would never have these situations. If you truly trust God 24/7 and believe in God and know that God is your God and be still and know that God is your God, we would never have to go through what we go through. The reason why we go through what we go through is that we believe and have faith in God temporarily, or when it suits us, or when we go through certain stuff. Trusting God has to be like the air that you breathe, and we don't do that. I myself don't do that. Because if we truly believe that God is our God and God is the God that provides and gives, and God would never put you in a place or in a space or give you what you cannot handle, we would not worry as much. We would not worry as much. I think this is where God comes in. We can go to clinics, we can go to psychiatrists, we can take medications, we can do A, B, C, and D, we can do this and that, but the best medication, the foundation of the medication is God. But God, not God on a Sunday, or not God when it suits you, not God when you're in trouble, not God when you're facing challenges, not God when you're facing turbulences, God all the time. You breathe in and out, you breathe God, you breathe out God, you walk God, you sleep God, you are God. And if we can try that, and at least for now, if you can achieve 50% of that, that means it's 3.5 days a week, which is more than 12 days a month. And then we work towards being 100% breathing in and out God. I think those things would become easier. When you face challenges in the spiritual world or with the spiritual eye, it hits differently. It hits differently. And we tend to want to do things physically. I want to address this physically. I want to address this verbally. I want to address this presently. Spiritualize it and see what happens. Thank you so much. Thank you. Spiritualize that and see what happens. But also, look, if you're over 30, for instance, or over 25, you are living now. You are a fully fledged adult. If you are in your 20s, take a lesson from my lesson. Don't let your overthinking stuff steal away the joys that come with being in your 20s. Don't let that do that to you. If you're over 30 and up, between 30 and 50, don't also learn your lessons from what you did in your 20s and see what you can change and make it better. Because we tend to create things that are not even there with our minds, and that steals away the joys of just living, of just breathing. So my wish to you is, let's practice the art and the power that comes with not overthink stuff. Let go and let God. How do I spiritualize this? That's the question I get from Sunshine. How do I spiritualize this? You tap into your inner being, you tap into your spirit and your soul, and realize what keeps the spirit alive. There's a source that keeps this spirit alive. You don't just breathe. We take breathing for granted, and we think we're entitled to breathing. What keeps you breathing? What wakes you up in the morning and make you sustain and last the whole day? Is by trusting God. And that's when you start spiritualizing things. Don't just take things for granted. Things like walking out, going to the shop, and coming back home. We take those things for granted. We think, oh, it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. It's okay. We take those things for granted. That's when you spiritualize things and realize that there's a force, there's a power that makes you or allows you to do those things. And God keeps us alive, like Unea say, or something like that. And being a believer as well, yes. So, what I want to leave you with now is that let's try and bring down the scale of overthinking. Bring down the scale of overthinking. Bring down the scale and amount of overthinking. Think, but don't overthink. Think, rather overbelieve than to overthink. Because it's handled. There's a force that is can you imagine? Let me give you a last example. This is how I visualize God. Can you imagine, as a parent, as a father that provides for your children, or as a mother that provides for your children, and your children are always anxious and nervous. There's always food on the table, but then your children are always worried. Are we going to have lunch? Are we going to have dinner? Are we going to have a roof? But they've always had a roof, they've always had dinner, they've always had breakfast. Imagine as a parent how you would feel if your kids feel like that, even if what you provide. Even sometimes when the fridge is empty, but there's always food on the table. Imagine as a parent how you would feel. It's either to make you angry, or to make you sad, or to make you feel disappointed. That's how sometimes I feel God feels when we think we'll never be taken care of, we'll never be provided for. Because He has our gifts with Him. It's a matter of us believing that we'll always be catered for and always be taken care of. So imagine not believing that you'll always be taken care of, and your Father, God, has all those things, but you don't see them, but He wants you to believe that those things are there. He wants you to believe that those things are there. And He can't now spoon feed you and always go, I've got them, believe there they are. No. He says, I've always provided for you. Why do you doubt me now? Why do you doubt me now? Can you imagine the disappointment that the Father God feels when we overthink and get worried every day? And He's like, dude, you are now 20-something, 30-something. How did you think you got there if I'm not there? When are you going to just let go and let me take charge and just believe that everything that you do, I am there with you, for you? Am I making sense? And what I'm saying now, I'm also realizing for the first time that I've been doing the same mistake, and living here, for me, I've just inspired myself to go, let God, let go and let God. Because you are letting Him down by believing that, or by thinking that you'll never go through, face and triumph over the trials and tribulations that you're going through, or the challenges. So now myself, I've just inspired myself by saying what I'm saying, which I have just made an analogy that makes so much sense when a parent is always providing, whether you see things or you don't, but you always go to school, the school fees are paid for, you eat every day, breakfast, lunch, supper, even when the fridge is empty, but you always eat, you always have a roof. You've never been in a situation where you sleep outside in the rain, but sometimes your parents don't show that they've got money, but things are provided for. So imagine if you always feel like that when you're provided for, what the parents are going to feel. And that's the same way that God, I think and believe, feels about us when we worry too much and we don't believe He'll take care of us. That's it. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I feel good, and I'm glad that you also feel good. And have a beautiful morning. Have a blessed morning. So, take out for today. Let go. Let go. Hey, Khomoto. Let go and let go. And don't get it twisted. By letting go doesn't mean sit on your couch and wait. Let go of the worries. Let go of the anxiety. Take that same amount of anxiety and worry to positivity and say, I deserve to get this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to go for it. I have nothing to lose by going for my goals and dreams vigorously, aggressively, tenaciously. Use that energy. The energy that you put in your anxiety and worry, shift it and take it to, I'm going to get everything that is mine. Because we all have our gifts. God has our gifts. He's just waiting for us to believe that He has our gifts. And then we go for our gifts. We're still going to work hard. We're still going to get rejected. We're still going to get... But anything that rejects you is not the end of it all. And God's delay is not His denial. Have a beautiful Sunday. I love you. Yonke.